And welcome back, everybody, to Waffle Board Breaks. Here we are, Waffle Board Breaks. We're now down to 28 boxes. We have 6 more to go before the reload. We have one tonight, one tomorrow, two on Sunday, and then one on next Tuesday and Thursday. So back to Tuesday and Thursday after this week. But I will be away after Thursday through Saturday. So just doing Tuesday and then tomorrow. So make sure you guys are ready for tomorrow night. Right back here on 27 boxes tomorrow night. You guys did a great job today. I think we had 10 different people. We had a couple 2 1-spotters. Everybody else had between 2 or 3. I don't think anybody had much more than that. Maybe 4. I think maybe 5 one person had. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome. Like I said, we have Big Allen tonight, Derek, Adam R. Nice to see him show up, grabbed the first spot and grabbed a second spot as well. James M's got a 1 spot. CK's got some spots. Nick F has 1 spot. Ron's got some. Steve S has some. Sonic, welcome in again. Sonic, it's good to see you around now. And then Mike H as well also has spots. So good luck, everybody. Not enough to go around to get too many. So, but it's with 28 spots. It gets pretty tight. Obviously, I try to keep the spot prices down as much as I could. I have 21 of them were under $9. So that's pretty crazy for 28 boxes, all licensed stuff. And you guys know how quality this stuff is coming. For the reload, I'm actually, as of right now, I have in hand or on the way 16 jerseys, not counting the backups of stuff that's still boxed up. So I may be able to put one of them off until if we hit something, I'll be able to put that off for another reload. But it's good to have a good 16 coming in. It's a fun bunch. I got handful of Hall of Famers. I got lots of new jerseys, new styles. I got a couple new people, which is tough. It's tough to get a whole new names when you had 425 boxes and 47 different jerseys we've hit. So it's tough to get whole fresh names, but every once in a while I'm able to scrape some together. I do have a custom in this one, which you guys are going to really enjoy. I think I've only had 1 or 2 customs ever in the 440 something jerseys. So I really have to like the jersey for me to drop it in there. Everything else is, of course, fully licensed. We got a great batch coming in. I got a current CCM juniors jersey. I got a vintage CCM jersey in there. I got a handful of Fanatics and even more Adidas, couple Reeboks as well. It's a good batch. I'm happy with this batch. Kind of felt together. Like it's weird. Sometimes you go stretches where you can't find anything that you like that I want to grab to put in the boxes, and then sometimes the floodgates open, and I gotta decide, is this worth me grabbing for you guys? Because I want you guys to have stuff to chase. And there's always going to be battles, and there's always going to be a couple stragglers as we go, but I do my best to make sure it's relatively fresh. And I think there's like 13 different teams represented in the 16, which is good. Like I said, anytime you're able to do that, one of the teams I have duplicate, I think, is Colorado. Anytime we get Colorado, you guys love. We got lots of Avs fans, so anytime I can get two Avs in the same reload, which is fantastic. Of course, I'm always going to see some Rangers. Rangers got to start hitting. Rangers are piling up in the boxes, and I'm always able to get good Ranger stuff. But I like both of the Ranger options we have going in, so I don't want to pass on either of them. I think, and I got 2 blues. That's tough. Rare we see 2 blues. So we'll be seeing those in the boxes. So you guys, I know some of you guys are trying to put NHL sets together, and you're still, whether it's 3, 4, 6 teams short. I know Big Al completed his long time ago, but some of you guys are trying to put together a full set of NHL jerseys, and I know blues was missing from a couple lists, so it's good to have a couple blues going in. It's a good batch. So I can't wait to see you guys chasing the stuff on the first eBay, which of course is that'll be a week from Sunday. So this week is just our last double box before the reload goes in. So make sure you guys get ready to battle on Sunday with your bids. I don't want anybody to miss out on spots because they forgot. Obviously, they start ending 2 per minute, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and they obviously would be down to 26. So that's only 14 minutes. So they'll be between 4 p.m. Eastern time and 4:14 Eastern time. That will be all 26 spots will be ending. So don't miss out. I said sometimes I try to send a reminder out to you guys because I know the Sundays can get a little hectic, but I don't like to waste you guys' emails with too many reminders. Sometimes I do. Obviously, I always send the ones out to you guys the day of the claims, but eBay, I usually don't bother. But you guys have an extra day again to get your bids in. This past week, we didn't have much bidding until into Saturday. Not much bidding at all. Most of you guys get ready to come to battle on Sundays, and that's how it was. So we'll see what happens again. Like I said, with the odds being absolutely fantastic for this weekend, 1 in 26 and 1 in 25 box odds. It's pretty crazy. But you guys have a chance to pick up some great stuff that you've been either chasing or relatively new from the recent reloads. I know we still have 12 from the last reload, 7 from the reload before. So that's 19 of our 20 boxes are from the last 2 reloads, which is good. But we do have the stragglers from last year, 3 single run jerseys from last year. Then we have 2 from January, and then 4 from the February reloads. So we're getting there. We're starting to work into the old ones. I like seeing, like I said, everything come out. But I mean, sometimes the new stuff has still got some shine on it, even though we've hit some big names so far. But we still have some really great jerseys in there, and I can't wait to see you guys, hit the stuff. So just one box tonight, of course. We'll see if anybody wants to get in here. I know there's tons of games on tonight. Not a lot to be decided. I think just seeding here and there. I think, there's hope against hope. Obviously Columbus was holding. it doesn't matter because obviously, I think they're probably not going to get in. So I think Tampa was, obviously Toronto had to fall apart for them to win the division. But the game tonight, Tampa and Florida looks to be a preview of the first rounds because that's going to be the 2 and 3 in the Atlantic. So they're going to play in the first round, which is absolutely insane. Civil War in Florida, the battle again. Those 2 teams are going to have to go through each other. They didn't meet in the playoffs in forever. In the last couple of years, it's been absolute epic battle. So we'll see if Florida wants to repeat. They better get healthy fast. They got a lot of people. They've been sitting out for health reasons, and they got to be ready to start swinging because I think the games start Saturday or Sunday. I think the playoffs start. So right now, Tampa's looking pretty smooth. Obviously, they lost a couple. I think they lost Gergensen, I think. Like I said, they have. Obviously, depth is the key. So anytime you lose guys that are actually part of your legitimate depth, that's bad. And they've been trying to restock year after year. Brisbane does a great job, but they rolled out Vassie again tonight. He's a workhorse. He got a decent amount of rest this year. People don't realize obviously with the 4 Nations break was huge because Russia wasn't involved, and of course they've had the backups that played a decent amount of games. Jonas Johansson got hurt for a little bit, so Vassie had to play a little bit more during a stretch than he would have. But Jonas played a decent amount of games early, and he's had some in the last couple of weeks. So it's Vassie, I think, is ready to roll. Obviously he's pretty much a workhorse. The team offensively is pretty dynamic right now. Obviously, they've been mixing pairings up. Obviously, it's not obviously Cooch and Point are attached to the hip, but they've rotated. Obviously, they don't always play with Gensel. Sometimes they play with Gord, who they're playing with right now. That third line, if Nick Paul is able to put up numbers in that third line, that's essential for them to being able to overpower teams with their depth. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm really excited for the playoffs. I would love to see Tampa win. They're not obviously the top seed, and they have to go through some heavyweights to even get out of the East. But Washington does look legit. We'll see. Toronto wants to prove that they're a real playoff team until they break that place down. And the East has got some good teams. Carolina, sneaky good. Florida, of course, is cup champion. So we'll see. Montreal's You know, the Montreal and the Ottawas and the Devils, they're still trying to cut their teeth as playoff legit teams, but they can surprise you. Puck bounces their way, you know, they can knock out any top seeds. So, but we'll see if still teams are ready to take the next steps and be legitimate, you know, long time playoff teams. But you know, I'm excited. Like I said, the Western teams are going to be fun because we don't watch them regularly during the regular season. But it's going to be fun seeing them fight it out, especially those top four teams out west are just amazing to watch. You know, Vegas, Dallas, and Winnipeg. You know, the Kings, you know, those teams are, I mean, then they have, you know, I've been mentioning, you know, the Colorados. So it's, you know, 4 or 5 teams out west pretty much can beat anybody in any series, and they're going to be battling it out heavyweight style just to get back to the finals. So, and obviously, I mean, Edmonton is in this year, even though they're not a high seed, but, you know, like I said, everything went their direction. McDavid looks great this week. You know, hopefully Draisaitl will be back for the playoffs, and you know, they definitely can make some noise. Stuff falls their way again. They can make I wouldn't be surprised to see them make a run, but I don't expect them to come out of the West. So we'll see how it goes. But like I said, 28 boxes today. This is your guys' time. This is the odds are in your guys' favor for the next 6 boxes. So I'm really excited to see what comes out. Obviously, you're not going to find, you know, much better odds, 20, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, and 23 before we be reloaded up. And like I said, you know, I'm going to be away this weekend, so I'm glad we're not reloading this weekend. Gives me an extra week to get everything together, start baking boxes. Like I said, we're going to start the new ones. I think 78 is where we'll start. I do have a couple boxes I'm able to reuse, but the most of them are going to be fresh new boxes for you guys. Like I said, we have right now the 24 on the table, and then we have the 4 on the side there. So after today, tomorrow, and Sunday, it'll be just the 24 on the table for the last 2 boxes next week. So that's fun. I always like to see the symmetry, and so I love seeing the tower and get ready. I'll be stacking empty boxes on the list, so it's gonna be fun. So, like I said, there's not too much more. I know you guys are watching games, just finishing up. So the earlier games, we have some late games on tonight as well. Let's see, is there anything else? I said this is box 425. I said earlier, I think we've done 447 different jerseys out of the boxes. I think so. Sounds about right. So, but it's definitely. Yeah, let me see. 446 going into 424 boxes we've opened. 446 jerseys, and that's just my product. So that's not counting all the third-party stuff, which I'm still trying to figure out what to do. I mean, East Coast sold out, so I couldn't grab any boxes. I dropped the ball on that one. I'm not really fond of the hip read series, so I may grab 1 or 2 of those just so we can open something on Wednesday. But as of right now, just my product we're doing here. And, of course, over at Big Al's, we have he's another East Coast tomorrow. He's had some really nice hits come out. The first 3 boxes, so he's a couple headliners. So we'll see. He's only 55 boxes in that East Coast series, which I definitely more than happy to promote, even though I don't have any. I think Big Al has at least, 10 more. So, like I said, we're probably getting 13 of the 55 we're going to see opened up just in Big Al's room alone. So, if you're not buying here, make sure you get over to Big Al's and you buy there as well. So, we shall see. Nothing really else. Let me see what I have going out. I have a couple boxes and 1 tube. That's Ron 16 by 20. I did not mail that yet. I have to pick up a tube probably at the store tomorrow, so I can send that out. But everybody else has been mailed. You should be receiving them shortly. A couple of you guys are just waiting on whatever hits today and tomorrow. And then actually, let me see. I might actually, maybe. Maybe I'll mail tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have time on Thursday, so I may try to get this stuff out tomorrow at some point in time. And then whatever hits tomorrow, I'll just send it out next week's mail. So that's going to be it. So like I said, is anybody else? Some people here. Is anybody here live? Is anybody watching? What are you guys up to? Be watching games? Everybody's got life. Everybody's got work. Everybody's got stuff. I know not everybody's in the same time zone. So East Coast here, we're 9:45. So let's get rolling. I know a bunch of you watch the tape delay, so I'm not going to hold off too long. So let's get right into it. Okay. Let me see. Here's my list. Here's my list of you guys. Let me get my dice roller up. Dice roller. My box list. Okay. Here we go. Okie dokes. Of course, we do 5 or more to come up how many times we're going to random our box list. So 5 or more on that. Let's look at our boxes. They're all here. 28 boxes, 60, 95, and 3 are single boxes from their run. And then there's 18 and 26 from the January reload. And then 4 from the February reload, 7 from the March, and the April, which was actually the last week of February, but the April reload is the last 12. 76 and 77 have been hit. So the highest of the boxes is 75. So there we go. Okay, 5 or more, of course. Good luck, everybody. I'm excited to see what comes out. We've been hitting some monsters lately. See if we keep that going. I don't mind. I don't want the monsters coming out, so we'll see. 5 times. So just 5 times, guys. So good luck, everybody. Let's do it. Remember, we're getting back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. So 1 box tonight, 5 times. 1, 28 boxes. 2, 3, 4. And the box we're going to open tonight is going to be box number 95. Oh, 95. 28 boxes, 5 times. We got one of the old ones, 95. I'm not going to spoil it. If you was paying attention, following along at home, 95, 5 times, 28 boxes. Oh, this box got some dust on it. There we go. 95. Woo! Okay, there we go. There we go. Congratulations. Congratulations. This is going to be fun. 60 is now the oldest box. 95. I think 60 and 3. 60 is a pretty old box. So we obviously that's the only box that's been skipped. So 61, 58, 61, 60 was the only box we skipped. And 95 ensures that I'm not sure. 3 is still kind of. I mean, this time we're not going to have to skip anything, but maybe the time after we don't hit 3 before that. So here we are. Box 95. I'm excited. There we go. Box 95. I don't need the list because I have a pretty good idea who has this one. Okay, here we go. Tell ya. Okay, here we go. Remember, back here, 8 o'clock tomorrow night for the box before the weekend break until Sunday's obviously double box eBay. 95 will give us Matt Beniers. There it is. The Kraken. Matt Beniers, number 10, Fanatics, Hollow. There it is. Matty Beniers. Beautiful jersey. I believe this has this first season inaugural patch on. I think the Fanatics jersey. There it is. Matty Beniers, number 10, Seattle Kraken. And it does. The inaugural 21-22 season patch. Like I said, not going to see many of these much anymore. Obviously, they've all gone into PCs at this point in time. You don't see them even Seattle Kraken inaugural season patches. Obviously, now we're going to not see any more Adidas. I mean, this is obviously a Fanatics, but all the new stuff is Fanatics. So there it is. Matty Beniers, number 10, with the inaugural season patch. I love the anchors on the sleeves. Very, very nice. He said it's not a black. It's like a super dark blue. No, I think maybe it's black. Black and like seafoam. There we go. Matty Beniers. There we go. And Matty Beniers, let me just a double, triple check. Matty Beniers goes to Derek F. Congratulations, Derek. Derek F. Derek F. starting to warm up. He's hitting stuff pretty much everywhere at this point in time. Congratulations, Derek, on the Matty Beniers. Sorry for everybody, of course, that did not hit, but that is now 1 more box gone. Down to 27 for tomorrow night, and one of our oldest boxes is gone. Now we just have 2 boxes from last year are the 60-3. So Matty Beniers is now gone. Congratulations, sir. I know you picked that up recently to be chasing that. You must be missing that from your jersey collection, maybe new Krakens. So congratulations on that. That was actually straight. This was one of my PC jerseys actually back when I added it to the reload. So that's had one owner, obviously still tagged up, Fanatics COA, and I was the only owner of that one. So congratulations, Derek. Very, very nice hit. I knew you had some spots tonight. So fantastic hit for you. Obviously, everybody else looking for tomorrow. 27 box odds, 1 in 27. So I look forward to seeing everybody back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. We'll do it again. Get ready for the eBay double box on Sunday. So tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Waffle Board Breaks is out for tonight. Take care, guys. Thank you very much.